Alright, time for another DraftPhysics.com video presentation. Alright, so eventually I'll get to this. I condensed the naked scientists, whatever, message board into, a conversational thing, where I put the little quoted bits and, paragraphs. So it's a little more readable, I think, and certainly it's easier to get to what the arguments are. And it all comes down to, as it has in the past, they're basically making this argument that levers don't work and that springs don't work. That is, they don't conserve momentum. And so the energy you put in, you won't necessarily get it back out again, because if you put heavier objects on, or even lighter objects on, somehow the amount of energy you put in won't come back out somehow. So anyway, it just seems kind of silly that these experiments aren't readily available. So it seems like a lever shouldn't be that complicated, that there should be somebody who's done an actual lever test, where they actually film the lever and show that you can drop something on one side and, half the mass will fly away, twice the velocity on the other side. If you arrange the objects in the right place. So it seems silly that this evidence doesn't exist, but it doesn't. So it'd be nice if some experimentalist wouldn't mind doing two simple experiments. That'll sort of be detailed in the conversation here, so I don't really want to do it now. I mean, it's just a lever, okay? You put a half mass further away from the fulcrum, put a full mass on the other side, you just drop it, and you see if the other side, the half mass, flies away at twice the velocity. Yeah, pretty simple. Because apparently that's the, if they can eliminate the conservation of momentum as an idea and say it doesn't work, then they can play this game and say it's not free energy. But it's only doing that. It's the only way they can fix it. As I've stated, it's a paradox. If you believe in momentum, kinetic energy doesn't work. If you believe in kinetic energy, momentum doesn't work. And they keep pretending these are compatible ideas. I mean, it's so stupid. You're saying, how could the argument be this stupid? It's just impossible. And not even to concede that, you've only had 350 years to compile a little bit of evidence to defend your theory, and you don't have anything? You can't link to a single experiment showing you collecting, the extra energy. Anyway, it's just too stupid. So I'm going to read comments, since that'll take up this whole video. So I'll leave a link to this, the conversation parts down here. I'm in the blue text, they're in the red text, blah, 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 blah. So, and it does need some explaining, just because of the, there's a little bit of continuity breaks in the conversations. But anyway, and then, so, but in this video I'll do comments in pyrrho, and I'll probably suck up all my time. So it'll be in another video that I'll probably read through this crap. And I will annotate this stuff better with links and all that kind of crap. So I'll get to that eventually. So let me go find Pyrrho's video, the right spot in it. Yeah, it should be back. Okay, I will, refrain from saying anything insulting. Okay, forget it. I won't bother. So I've got like 4 videos now. They're less than 10 minutes long. One of them specifically on the lever, 5-minute video. And Pyrrho ought to do that video and explain why there's a single error in it. Explain what sentences are inappropriate or incorrect, instead of whatever this is. So I don't know what he's doing here, how it could be useful to anybody. So there's the bowling ball example, where you have a 16-pound ball going 8 miles an hour and an 8-pound ball going 16 miles an hour. And the fact is, their kinetic energy formula says the 8-pound ball going faster has twice as much energy. That is, that somehow it'll knock down twice as many pins. Now, I did an analysis of this in one of those 7-minute videos or whatever, And yeah, I didn't use kilometers, and I didn't use what's the other thing you have to use? I use miles per hour and pounds. It doesn't really matter. The same proportions exist. It works just as well. Blah 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 blah. So and demonstrate that you can understand where the energy goes. That the fast ball gives a lot of energy to things quickly, and the slow ball gives a little bit of energy consistently for a much longer distance and time. It's not that complicated.
That's been going on, which we all know about. But anyway.
Oh, God, the fucking sound. I shouldn't say. I mean, the sound is horrible on his videos. It's just the audio sucks. It's just the stupid, whatever it is, mouth mic. Ugh, he's got to let that go.
It's a new year, but I don't know that I want to say Happy New Year. It's more like Happy End of the last year. Happy that one's over.
And it's this whole streaming thing also degrades the quality of the audio. He ought to just make videos. Record the video, upload the video.
So, first of all, before I start, I just was having this idea where I just wanted to point out that if two objects are moving at the same velocity.
Right, so it has nothing to do with the thought experiment. The whole point of the kinetic energy theory is you can change the mass variable all you want and it won't change anything because it's not a squared variable. So it won't break. The consistency between kinetic energy and momentum isn't broken if you change the mass variable. It's not squared. The squared variable is the velocity. You change the velocity variable, that's where everything goes to hell. So I don't even know. He doesn't even describe what this is. So he says E equals 1/2 mv squared, kilograms meters per second. And yeah, we already saw how you cheated to get there. Okay, how you put a 1 in the fraction instead of a 1 second. So we already saw that cheat. And so V equals 10 miles an hour. Yeah, so the element that's squared, the one that makes for the wacky results. Just understand what they're saying when they say this stuff, okay? Velocity is a time, essentially, and they're squaring a time. They're not squaring a square. They're not sphering a circle. They're squaring a time. Do you think the universe has squares, cubes of time in it? I don't think so. So even as a concept, how would it be possibly that could, understand squaring, turning something into an area, of a square rather than just the line. You can understand that kind of stuff, but squaring a second? How is it understandable? So then this just couldn't mean more nothing to somebody in this conversation. I can't believe there's a single person in the conversation who could say this is somehow relevant. So what's it here for? And then, the other critique would be, why are you putting it in these slop videos? I mean, can't you make videos on subjects? Do you have to just throw a bunch of crap together into the same video? I mean, you want to do recipes, you want to do goldfish maintenance, you want to do 17 different kind of things in one video? I haven't seen anybody successfully do that, frankly.
The same velocity. Here I've said 10 miles per hour. And one of them is twice the mass of the other. So here I've used 8.
So he's using the same velocity and different masses, which is it doesn't have anything to do with the thought experiment. So what purpose does this have? Who is this video for? Where's its relevance?
Kilogram mass and a 16 kilogram mass. Well, then the kinetic energy of the bigger mass is twice that of the smaller mass.
Gee, duh. Boy, nobody could figure that out. You doubled the mass, and there's more. There's more momentum too. Just amazing.
That's right. That's what you would expect. Two objects moving at the same velocity. the one that's twice as massive has twice as much energy. Now, if you start playing tricks, this is
so this is absolutely meaningless. I mean, this is so. I just can't get over how absolutely meaningless this is as a response. I mean, and I mean, it's so ridiculous. You're just saying it can't. The argument really can't be this ridiculous, but it just proves how it's a religion. This is just, they're just defending a religion. They don't even understand their own religion. They haven't even read their own Bible. They don't even know Newton didn't say F equals ma. And then you can analyze ma. What does that even mean? The formula doesn't even mean anything. You can't use it. If you actually just took F equals ma seriously and you said, okay, let's do it. All right, let's multiply the mass times the rate of acceleration. You'll never get the right answer for the force. So the formula, is a lie right from the start because you can't get the right answer. Because the rate won't tell you anything. You need the rate times an amount of time. So you'd have to do F equals ma times time. It's too stupid.
all voodoo, where...
So he thinks it's voodoo if you say, no, the 16-pound ball's going slower and the 8-pound ball's going faster. They have the same momentum, okay, but you say they have a different amount of energy. This is how you get to the dichotomy between the two ways of looking at the universe. This is how you show, them revealed.
Oh, but what if the smaller one's going twice the velocity, blah, 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 blah.
So he says that's voodoo. So it's voodoo to tease out the very problem you're looking to solve. Why or how can how can things that have the same momentum have different amounts of energy?
You're trying to confuse people.
So that's his accusation. So what accusation should somebody have in kind to that accusation, that the effort is trying to confuse people when you're the one saying Newton said F equals ma, for example, and that somehow F equals ma is a solvable equation on its own when it's completely unsolvable? You can't get the right answer. I can't put m5 times 7. I won't get the right answer, okay? If the rate of acceleration is 7, 5 times 7 won't give me the right answer. It's a useless formula. It can't be used in its actual form. It doesn't answer the question.
The fact is, if two masses are going the same velocity and one is 3 times more massive, then it's got 3 times as much energy, just as you expect.
So it's voodoo to do the opposite of that and say, well, what if we change the velocities? Yeah. All right. So anyway, and so this is, so you could go, if he changed the velocities, then he's stuck with it takes 4 times more gas to go twice as fast. All right, and the naked emperors, they failed to deal with that question, because they actually I threw that at them, and then they took me to a site where, they're doing braking experiments, and still only came out 3 times, not 4. So they thought it was a successful argument, even though it didn't get the right answer. And it only got 3 times as much because, well, the faster you go, the less friction there is with the road. I mean, it's that bad. The arguments are that bad. So anyway, what else? I can't say too stupid loud enough, I guess, but that's all you can say, right? Too stupid. Alright, should be back. Alright, other comments. So this Matthew guy, hey DS, what do you think of this video? So this is a link to the stupid video that Simon Dan referenced like a week ago, that I did a whole video on, where they're picking on this kind of crazy guy, and that's all. And it's not even, the crazy guy isn't even publishing the video. That is, somebody found an old video that he probably took down, and they're putting it back online to kind of, I guess, harass the guy. They can't say much else, right? They're picking on somebody who's not even asserting something. He's not aggressively saying it anymore. And they're digging it up and picking on it. I mean, isn't that like the definition of asshole? Okay, so yes, I already did it, shithead. Ugh, okay, that says, I guess I won't hide him. I'll just delete him. You're an asshole, wasting my fucking time. Where's your other jerky comment? Oh, down here. Hey man, I would love you to do a video speaking about your thoughts on this video. So it's some kind of the secret beyond matter. It's some kind of bullshit Buddhist nonsense. Why would I waste my time with that shit for brain? Conventional physics is already silly enough, right? Well, I don't have to go out and find some other silly dissident science. Conventional physics is stupid as fuck, retard. So it's probably just Farley. I don't know. Everybody's just Farley, right? I'll just blame every stupid act on... Oh, Farley. That's a Farley. You did a Farley. Ugh, God. No. Fuck you, Matthew. You're an idiot. Alright, this shit. I forgot this, the last comment video. Oh, yeah. Alright. Quantities of motion could be addictive. Oh, additive. Duh. Yeah, you can add them, but you can't subtract them. I can't throw a baseball that way, and then I throw one this way, and that ball says, oh, I can't keep going that way, because somebody's going that way, and that cancels. They can't cancel. Whatever canceling is. Canceling can't happen. Nothing ever cancels. Similar to magnetic fields with vector calculus. So you think you know something about magnetic fields? You think they can't do levers. You know, and you think they got magnetic fields right. Okay. I mean, it's just too stupid. I'm sorry, this is just too fucking stupid. There's a difference, you know, if I have a system where I have a pile of gunpowder and I blow it up, you can see that the energy goes in all directions and that you can, you know, divert the energy towards the bullet and towards the gun. That's going to be the dominant two things that are going to take place, because the gun really can't go in any of the other directions. And if you push this way and you push that way on the walls, yes, then you'll get nothing. But it's not that nothing happened. The pushes were both real. They didn't not happen. The gun actually went this way, and then the gun actually went that way. And because the two motions undo each other, because you turn right and then you turn left, it doesn't mean you didn't turn right and you didn't turn left. I can't believe how stupid you people are. All right. If the two vectors are transferring power, whatever that is, instead of a one-to-one dissipation of energy, what? Like a heat pump in a freezer that draws energy from the surrounding environment. So this is more stupidity. Yeah, heat pumps are what the, you know, it's called the heat pump. Okay, because it's just allowing you to use warmer than colder. So if the air is 32 degrees and the ground is 55 degrees, well, if you take your water from the ground, that is, you put your pipe in and let it sit in the ground for a while, it'll absorb the heat of the ground. But that's it. It's a little advantage. Not a huge advantage, a little advantage. Draws energy from the surrounding environment. That's not unicom energy. It's real. I mean, again, real what? It's like, I don't even know, it's like filtering your gasoline for impurities. Yeah, it makes sense. Just like how status changes are all around us, whatever that means. I mean, this is just such woo shit. I think your fixation of proving him wrong, okay, so I guess this is on a Walter Lewin video. It's not a fixation, asshole. And I'm not proving Walter Lewin wrong. I'm proving all of conventional physics wrong. So you're not even getting the target right, dumbass. Ugh. It is not letting you see the elephant in the room. And what is that? The elephant that has a horn in the middle of its head? The uni-elephant? Huh? Unifence? Unifence? Is that what you believe in? instead of trying to build off of it, whatever that even means. So I can't see the elephant, but I'm building off of the elephant. Not necessarily the same direction. Whatever the fuck that could mean. Oh God, how can people be these fucking full of shit? How does this much shit get compressed into humans? They're just shit magnets. You're smart enough to realize, oh yes, and you're patronizing enough to kick in the fucking ass. We are surrounded by particles that can be excited by a difference of potential. So more nonsense. Potential what? They can only be excited because something hits them. Shit for brain. A lightning bolt. Whatever that... So somehow that happens out of nothing. As well as surrounded by force that happens to mimic a magnetic field that is unending in our lifetime, gravity. So just more of your own little special theory that you've reduced to 2 retarded fucking sentences. Gee, how fucking profoundly uninteresting. I'm sure you understand the working principle of heat pumps. Yeah, and it's not miraculous. Or even mildly interesting, frankly. You know, because it'd make much more sense to put the water through tubes on your roof, do the passive solar, and you'll get even better results. So if you use passive solar to preheat your water, it'd be even better. Okay, let's say we have an electrical transformer arranged in a way similar to a heat pump. So he thinks there's free energy, basically, that can excite ambient changes from the surrounding environment. I'm just making this up as I go along. Aren't you falling for it? To utilize those ambient changes once excited, and pumps can do the physical work. So he thinks you can prime a transformer with the magical universal free voltage. Just put the transformer in the free voltage zone and it'll have extra voltage in it. La, 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 la. Please just apply the principle of heat pumps to transformer. Why would I do that? Oh, neutral charges. So he says more bullshit. There's no neutral charge, asshole. You have no evidence of it. You can't diagram your neutral charge, whatever the fuck it would be. You're too fucking stupid. Neutrons are a proton and an electron. That's what a neutron decays into. It's not a neutral charge. It's obviously a dipole. Oh, neutral charges are everywhere around us to be used and excited for useful work. So God loves you. You're a smart man. So that's the second time you've made some reference to I'm smart enough. Yeah, I'm a lot smarter than you, asshole. But use so much of your intellect to disprove. Yeah, that's part of the obligation, frankly. Sadly, but you know, half the obligation is proving your theory, half of the obligation is disproving theirs. Rather than move forward your own innovations or theories. So I'm obviously have moved them forward. I'm, got a simulation that works and will work better and better with each passing day, blah 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 blah. Look forward to your further research. Thank you for sharing. Fuck you. I don't thank you for sharing. You're an asshole. You're wasting my time with your little personal theories. I'm arguing my theory against their theory. You don't understand that's what the channel's about? Then you don't understand the channel. So you make your own channel and talk your wacky shit, and guess what? I'll watch maybe 3 minutes of one of your videos and say, oh, silly religious kook. Thank you very much. Bye. So, what can I say? Fuck you. Ugh. God, I hate people. Alright, so now we'll move on to another piece of shit comment, no doubt. Alright, so another comment. So, underlying this apparently are these like little fundamental misunderstandings that I didn't anticipate because I just never even considered there's some other option. So I've always thought of things moving as possessing the energy. The energy's in the thing. Just as like I've always figured my consciousness is inside my brain. That's why I have a brain, is because it's making the consciousness. All right, it's not collecting it from some, it's not an antenna or something. The consciousness isn't someplace else, and the energy of an object is inside the object. The object has it. There's force inside of it. It's carrying it, and then it's exchanging it. So this is exactly how Descartes saw the world 400 years ago almost. And to me, it's a perfectly valid explanation. Yes, it makes sense. And so you're just looking for how the things exchange their little arrows, That's it. They're just exchanging them. And there's rules about how things can get exchanged. Fast things can't make big things go fast. And slow things, heavy things, can't make little things go fast. So not that complicated. So they can't give all their energy because the thing can't carry it. So there's rules about how you pour the crap into the buckets. Sponges versus buckets. There's rules. Anyway. But yeah, apparently there's a whole bunch of people who think energy is somehow amorphous, like consciousness or something. And the thing doesn't actually possess it. And there's some energy god who's doing the energy equations. I don't know. I don't get it. It's just nonsense. Like I said, there wasn't a single thing Leibniz said that made any fucking sense at all. If you go read Leibniz's philosophy, it's homeless man insane. I mean, it's just, there's no point in reading it because it's crazy. All right. I saw where you went wrong in the Naked Scientist forums. Oh, yeah, you're just such a insightful, brilliant human. There was a moment there when they were trying to engage with you constructively. Bullshit. Okay? I mean, we've been there and done this. This is the 4th message board. Exactly the same thing happens on every single one of them. So don't sit there and play this game that somehow they have any innocence here at all. They're the ones closing the threads. And why are they closing? Why would you close it? It's not like it's full of spam or commercials or porn or, foul language or... Why are they closing the threads? Well, why do they find it necessary to say nobody can talk about this anymore? That's the most obvious problem. Like, why is this a problem? Why can't you just say, well, could you just go have a timeout or something because we don't want to talk about this for a week? They don't say anything like that. They close the conversation and say nobody can talk about it. Just as they told me, well, yes, you can present your theory, but your theory can't be that momentum is energy. We're not going to allow that theory. It's too stupid. All right. So that was just horseshit. They're never looking for anything constructive. They're looking to preach. They're arrogant, obnoxious, pontificating douchebags who think they're smarter than everybody else and has to explain the world to everybody else. They're pathetically small-dicked cowards. Okay, in my opinion, you went wrong by making claims. You have to instead do something completely dishonest. Oh, please. So I'm going to go to a board to have an argument, presumably with people with some sort of intelligence capable of making an argument, and yet I have to patronize them? I have to pretend? You don't understand how that, again, is another paradox? We might as well just add another paradox to the circumstance. The paradox that smart people need to be fooled. You went wrong by saying they were wrong. The entire purpose of the board is essentially to say something's wrong. The whole purpose of that one segment, it's not even the regular message board. It's a little sub message board where they say, go ahead, present your theories. The theory wouldn't be, I believe exactly what you believe. No one ever presented the I believe exactly what you believe theory. You fucking idiot. Okay. Here's what you have to do if you want to get successful communication on such boards in the future. And where have you any evidence whatsoever of this working? your strategy? Where have you proven it? Where's this theory? Where do you get your insight from, fuckhead? Where did you do the experiment? Oh, that's right. You didn't. Instead of making claims, just ask questions. Why are you so fucking stupid? Why don't you have any evidence for any of the claims you make? Yeah. Yeah, they'll really, I'm sure that won't trigger any kind of negative response. If you had worked your question in a submissive tone, and why should I have to do that? What's the point of, again, assuming an intelligent conversation when you have to do that? When you have to be that overtly dishonest? And you're saying it's supposed to be an intelligent conversation? No, that's not going to be an intelligent conversation. All right, like, could you please explain to me why momentum can't be energy? And they'll just say F equals ma, shit for brain. They won't answer the question. My intuition says it is. No, well, I would never say that. That's just walking into the trap. That's just saying, go ahead, punch me right in the face. That's the last thing you would ever want to say, you stupid fuck, because then they'll just dismiss you entirely and say, well, intuition is a very poor way to understand anything in the universe. Mathematics is the only way to do it. I mean, you're just opening the door for them to close the door, idiot. Oh, God, too stupid. So could you help me sort it out? Right, and they'll help you by saying F equals ma and mathematics is our friend. You know, contrived bullshit lie mathematics. So let's understand, it's not mathematics, it's just lies. They keep saying it's Newton's mechanics when it's clearly completely on opposition to Newton. Newton opposed it. Newton was still alive and was opposing this theory. And they'll pretend it's Newton's mechanics. I mean, that's how bad their lies are. If you tried that tack, you might get some admissions from them. Now, the only way to get an admission is to put them in a chair where they have to actually answer the questions. And even in the board, I already successfully did that, right? What were their responses? Well, you have to realize the pendulum is bent. Okay? And their other, what was this, the insanity the other guy said? He basically went both ways. Well, of course it's thrust, but of course it's not thrust. Of course it's more thrust, but it's not as much thrust. I mean, direct contradictions. All right. I mean, they so misunderstood that the guy even had the typo of saying the lighter faster. Instead he said the heavier faster. Okay. Anyway, from them could prove to be helpful in your work. Well, anyway, what will be helpful is if I can get one of these cowards, okay, to be forced to engage in a real conversation and not run away. So, the conversation has to happen somewhere where they can't lock the thread. The conversation has to happen in some kind of arena where they can't just walk out. Because that's all they keep doing. They run away as soon as they're in trouble. I'd say this because your approach isn't working. Well, you say it's not working. I say it's really adding up. And it's becoming quite obvious to anybody reasonable. Now, the fact that it's not working in the sense that I can't persuade religious kooks, yeah, I can't. And you're religious kooks, okay? You're all a bunch of fucking doopy morons who can't do any thinking for yourselves. And all you are is little grouples, you're little disciples of the group. You don't have any capacity to do your own thinking or to figure out for yourself that they're full of shit. I mean, I've already pointed out the tons of evidence. I mean, just imagine 350 years this moronic theory has existed, and they can't present a paragraph of text defending it. They can't show you a single fucking experiment. 350 years, and they have nothing. Stupid fucker. Okay, so here's another dopey comment. Kinetic energy can be used to tell you how deadly something is. So it's just too stupid, right? I mean, you know, this again, how moronic are you? Oh, yeah, we know there's a difference if the pen hits me going this way or the pen hits me going this way. Yeah, duh. So all I have to do is smash the bullet into a piece of tin foil and then make it go 1,000 miles an hour, and it won't do anything. It'll just wrap around you. No harm, no foul at all. Won't even feel it. So it's just about the little incidental fact that the bullet concentrates the energy. And by concentrating it, yes, it can poke holes. So if I made a big giant 10 million ton weight and I moved it 1 millimeter a year, right, you do know that there's that 1 millimeter that's going to be the difference between you being alive and you being dead, you know, in terms of a crushing power. So, I mean, I could theoretically convert the energy into some kind of pressure that actually, you know, pops you like a grape. You know, that last little push. But yes, it's just you know, this shouldn't fool anybody. This could fool the audience, you know, of Ken Wheeler videos, but it shouldn't be fooling anybody who has any kind of functioning brain to not realize that, yes, you can put the energy in different bottles and it'll have a different effect. For example, the two objects are coming towards you with the same momentum. One object is a bullet and the other object is a giant metal ball. This means that the kinetic energy of the bullet is greater than the metal ball. So again, it's just, you know, it's too stupid. I mean, you're just talking about surface area. How much surface area you apply a pressure to. So you're saying a hypodermic needle has more kinetic energy, even though it can have much less energy. Right? I mean, I could have an actual jackhammer or a hypodermic needle. And one of them can have 10 million times more energy. And because the hypodermic needle penetrates your skin, that means it has more energy? I mean, it's just so fucking stupid. What would you use to determine if you will die? Pick wisely. I mean, it's just, again... No, pick stupidly. You're a moron. You're an idiot. You're not doing physics. You're doing crap. You're doing noise making. You most certainly die, so you'll move on. So I will move on. You know. So again, so he proved there's a kinetic energy because small things are where the energy is concentrated in a small area and impacts you in a small area. They has instantly more energy. I saw a video in which you said that water waves cannot produce, this must be Tyler the Looney Tune. Okay, in which you said water waves cannot produce two waves through a slit. Yeah, well, what I said is a single wave can't produce interference. It's not going to produce the bar pattern you see. The single slit experiment done well can produce 50 little bars of light. Okay, now a single wave can't do that. And certainly a slit that has 0 wavelength difference capacity. That is, you put the slits so close to each other that there's no possibility of a path length difference. Obviously, you can't create any nodes. You can't create any pattern. All you can do is create one smear. Okay, if you still believe this, you are wrong, and you won't prove it with anything. This video disproves you very, very easily. So the video is just a video on diffraction, and it's just overtly saying stupid things like doing the single slit with a slit opening smaller than the wavelength of the light, which means the 2 point sources are so close to each other that there are no 2 point sources anymore. There can't be any light that takes a one wavelength of time difference to get to a location, because the 2 points are the same point almost. So it's ludicrous to think you could create an interference pattern in such a circumstance. It's just absolutely insensibly stupid. Alright, so that's it. So yeah, I'll leave it there and I'll come back to this some other time. And just use it as an illustration of how rotten and corrupt and silly science is. Scientists are gutless, dickless cowards. They're not willing to defend their wacky, silly religion. They just want to preach it. They don't want anybody to challenge it with any evolution theories. And it's really disgusting to live among such despicably characterless, lack of integrity human beings. It's disgusting. But anyway, it's the way it is. So I will endeavor to persevere in spite of the obnoxious, foul, horrid, grotesque configuration of human that you must interact with. Yeah, fuck. So, till the next time and such, and so forth and whatnot. It's not much to, till the next time. Let's see, is it worth making? Yeah, I have the, I did make a new video, but it was linked on the old video. The one that it ended up being whatever, a little longer than I wanted, right? 8 or 9 minutes, something like that. So, but anyway, just the one pointing out that heat, energy, force, momentum, pressure, weight, it's all the same thing. And physics is really stupid for not figuring that out. Okay, so that's enough. So this has been a DraftPhysics.com video presentation. And, whoops, I gotta get out of here. Yeah, this is how I get out of here. I'll go out both ways at the same time. Alright, so I hate this planet. Yeah, I probably hate you. The odds are I don't like you. Alright, till the next time and such.